faith. It's such a simple word, but for many, it's a life-changing force. For me, it was the very thing that turned my life around. Today, I want to take you on a journey of how faith transformed my life in ways I never imagined. Maybe you're struggling, searching for answers, or wondering how faith could possibly make a difference. Let me share my story with you. I wasn't always a person of faith. In fact, for most of my life, I depended solely on myself. I believed that if I worked hard enough, if I pushed myself far enough, I could control everything. My success, my happiness, my future, it was all in my hands, or so I thought. But it wasn't always that simple. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, and no matter how hard I tried to keep everything under control, things began to unravel. I was going through a difficult season. Work was overwhelming, my relationships were strained, and deep down, I felt like I was lost. I tried everything to fix things on my own, but it seemed like the more I tried to control, the more things slipped through my fingers. The stress became unbearable. And then I hit rock bottom. At my lowest point, a close friend came to me. They didn't preach or try to convince me of anything. They simply listened, and after hearing me out, they gently asked, "Have you thought about faith?" I didn't have a clear answer. Faith? What could that do? But something about the question stuck with me. I began to wonder if maybe, just maybe, there was something bigger than myself, something beyond my control that I needed to connect with. So I began to explore. I attended a church service one Sunday. It felt strange at first, sitting among people who seemed so confident in their beliefs. But as I sat there, listening to the words of hope, love, and purpose, something shifted within me. For the first time in a long time, I felt peace. And that peace didn't come from knowing all the answers or having everything figured out. It came from realizing that I didn't have to do it alone. The idea of surrendering control was hard for me at first. I thought surrender meant weakness, but it didn't. Surrendering to faith wasn't about giving up. It was about trusting in something greater. It was about understanding that there's a plan beyond what I could see. It was about allowing myself to believe that God was with me, guiding me, even when I couldn't understand why things were happening the way they were. Faith became my anchor. I started praying regularly, even when I didn't know exactly what to say. I read scriptures that reminded me of God's promises. Verses like Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding," became my lifeline. Slowly but surely, I began to see changes, not just in my circumstances, but in my heart. Faith didn't magically solve all my problems. I still faced challenges, but I faced them differently. I didn't carry the weight of the world on my shoulders anymore. Instead, I learned to lean on God, to trust that He was working everything out for my good, even when I couldn't see it at the moment. Over time, faith transformed how I saw everything. My work, it wasn't just about achieving success for myself. It became a way to serve others. My relationships, I learned to love more deeply, forgive more freely, and extend grace the way I had received it. Even the difficult seasons became opportunities for growth because I knew that God was with me through it all. Faith gave me hope. Hope that no matter how dark things seemed, there was always light. Hope that even when I felt lost, I was never truly alone. Hope that my life had meaning and purpose beyond what I could see in the here and now. If you're watching this and feeling overwhelmed, maybe like you've hit rock bottom, I want you to know there's hope. Faith isn't about having all the answers or living a perfect life. It's about trusting that there's a loving God who cares for you, who has a plan for you, and who is ready to walk with you every step of the way. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope my story encouraged you, and if you're curious about faith or have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Remember, you don't have to have it all figured out to take the first step. Just open your heart and trust that God will meet you right where you are. Thank you, Your Majesty, kings and queens. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need a little hope today. Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.